Howdy, everyone. This is Sharon for another Conscious Sharon moment. And so, for this Conscious Sharon moment, what we will talk about is living in the cocoon. And so, before we get started, just want to remind you that with these Conscious Sharon moments, they're spontaneous because that's how life is. And so, you're able to adapt. And also to remind you, if you're on YouTube, to like, share, and to subscribe, and also make sure you hit the notification button, and that's whether you're on I'm about to say Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And I'm not sure about LinkedIn. Do they have a notification? But just make sure that, again, you like and share something in the comments, because I really do want to hear from you. And I want to be able to share even more conscious sharing moments, because these are not just my revelations and aha moments, it's conversations that I've had with others, or it may be a meme that I saw, or a YouTube video, or a podcast where someone else had a revelation about something and it resonated with me. It's like, oh, yeah, I felt that. I always say, when it comes to interactions and connections with other individuals, it either, how I used to say that. I usually say, it's something that I know I use the word enlighten, or it confirm or validate, meaning that a thought that I may had, or a feeling I may had, and sometimes you just may not be so sure, or sometimes you may not even think much about. Most of the time for me, I don't even think much about it. And then when I hear somebody else, talk about it, or say something, or see a meme or a video, or have a conversation, and I'm like, oh yeah, me too. And so, just in saying all of that, there are things out there for all of us. And this is one of the reasons, and we have conscious sharing moments. There's another reason that I have my podcast. Another reason of just really having connections and conversations with other people, so that when I say things can be validated, not in the sense that you didn't believe in yourself or anything like that, but it just lets you know you're on the right path. You don't need it, but it just lets you know you're on the right path. But you don't need that, because you're always getting signals anyway. But anyway, like I said, there are things that validate and confirm any thoughts that I may already had, and the notions that I've had. And then also, sometimes it enlightened me something that I didn't know at all. And so, by me being the number one self-care giver in the world, as I am learning and experiencing things in my own personal life, I share these things with you, so that you can find peace and harmony and live in joy. And so, again, welcome. And so, the topic is living in the cocoon. And so, what living in the cocoon is: when you're in the storm, most of the time, you're in the storm, but even in the storm, you may know a storm is brewing and you're in it, but you may not realize that you're in the cocoon. And so, again, with the cocoon, we always talk about the caterpillar and the butterfly. We always talk about the butterfly, oh, the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, but no one really talks about what happens in the cocoon. And that is the most significant part of it. And that's where transformation comes. And even though we say that, it's the most difficult thing. And so, if you're having internal or external, I call them temper tantrums. And when I say temper tantrum, it just means those emotions are coming out. It can be anger, it can be sadness, it can be whatever it may be. And the thing is, when it's witnessed by other people, sometimes it can be too much for them, or they may view it, I'm just going to say, in a certain way. When it's experienced by you, you may really feel like that you're breaking down, that you're having a nervous breakdown, or you just can't handle it. But just know you're in the cocoon, and that's where it is. That's where you get your strength from. And it's something that we all just have to go through. No one likes it. Believe believe me, I'm saying it from experience. And even in the midst of that, it may seem like it's something that you can't handle, and this is where self-care really comes into play. This is where, if someone is talking to you about something, really, really listen. If you are saying something to someone, like if you're expressing to someone, have something that impacted you, something they said or did or didn't say or do, and that how it impact you. I always say and came to the realization, if I'm saying it more than once, especially about 3 times, I've got to go deep within myself, because that means it's something that really trigger me in a way that I may not even realize those parts of me that needs healing, nurturing. Because at the end of the day, counseling or not, at the end of the day, talking to someone or not, meaning family or friends, whoever it may be, and that it's all on you. It's all on us to do the work. And you're going to come through it. But when you're in the fire, when you're in the cocoon, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Sometimes it feel like you're not going to make it, you can't handle it, but you really can. It's just the going through which is hard. And even when it comes to other people, and in what I've learned or am learning, even for people who are doing the work, who have really good practices, sometimes it's even hard for them to be able to hold space, because it's not a good feeling. It's not a good sight to be in that space. But just know, just like the caterpillar, when they're in the cocoon, you're going to come through it. You're going to have your wings. You're earning your wings. That's what it is. And so when someone comes to you about something, I always say, it can be both. Sometimes it can be their perception of how they see you or how they see the world. Then sometimes they could be telling you the truth. And it could be a little something in between. At least listen. And then on the other hand, when someone is listening and however they respond, allow them to be able to express themselves, because that's part of it. It's kind of one of those things, is that as I continue to do my inner work, as I continue to make myself better, there are times that I don't have it together. There are times in which I may just feel like I want to explode here. You know what I'm saying? And so there are individuals that I'm able to be real like that with, and it doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? And so if you have individuals that you can hold space with you, that's wonderful. But most of the time we don't. Most of the time we don't. And so in saying all of that, I don't always have, that privilege. It's nice to have it, but it's not always there. But just know that when you are in the cocoon, you're going to come through it. It is helping you transform. It is there for you. And to be honest, it's kind of there to protect you as well. And so wherever you are in your cocoon, just know it's there for your protection, it's there for your transformation, and it's there so that you will make it in the end. It's kind of like you're in the tunnel and there's light. There's light at the end. And so when it comes to self-care, remember, when it comes to self-care, there's 4 pillars of self-care. There is self-awareness, which is introspection, self-evaluation, self-reflection, self-inquiry, being able to really sit with yourself and to be able to do something about it. And so that's where the others come into play, to be able to sit in silence, to have that deep rest, and to move and take action, because there's no need of like having all of this experience and having all of this insight and reflection if you're not making steps to improve and to show that. And again, that's where the cocoon comes in, because sometimes it may seem like you're in stop mode, because sometimes you may need to rest. But then the reflection piece of it is where you can make a discernment. Okay, I need to move faster. So anyway, just know when you're living in a cocoon, it's for transformation. It can get really hot in there. Remember to breathe, remember to rest, remember to move, and remember to take action, because in doing all of that, that is when you earn your wings to live in joy. and to be at peace and to move at ease. And even though I'm saying all of that, in the midst of it, it doesn't always happen in that way. And so as we learn from ourselves, as we learn through other people, then you will be able to have the skill set for the next time. Because believe me, there's going to be a next time. That's just how life is. It may show up different or wherever it may be, but it's to help prepare you for the life that you want. If you want big things, believe me, big things are going to come. And so I know that everything that life has to offer me, it is here to push me through so that I can be the greatest version of myself. Is it always easy? No. I'm always happy with it? No. But you know what? In the end, it is there and you're going to be okay because you are okay, even in the cocoon. So thank you for joining me for this conscious sharing moment. And also remember to go to my website so you can, order your merchandise, such as this cup. And so, again, thank you for joining me for this conscious sharing moment.